are the sole survivor of a fire airplane crashing in the middle of nowhere. Can you, will you survive until help arrives? I can and I will help you. I am the Southern Survivorman. Let's go! Well, my float plane, it just done took off, so that means for the next 3 weeks, I'm out here in the Lincoln National Forest. You know, this is like 300 miles from the closest human contact. You know me, I'm Jabin, the host of your show, Southern Survivorman. Well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna learn some new techniques. We're gonna learn how to survive on just minor things laying around in the woods. So my suggestion is we get started right away. Y'all hear this sound here? These things are what are called bear bells. You attach them to your backpack or your pants leg, and they keep a constant noise so you don't spook any bear. Because you know what'll happen, they'll just backhand you and your face is gone, man. So you don't want to startle any bear, especially a mama bear with her cubs. So you just put these on your pack. Now, if you don't have anything like that, and you find yourself in this type of situation, make constant noise, like real loud walking. Say things out loud, tell Dorothy Hamill jokes or whatever. Or what I like to do sometimes, because I get bored too out surviving, so I just be singing like Old MacDonald, but I'll do it like in Russian, so it's like Praskipotonya patote, Praskipotonya totote. Actually, was that Old MacDonald? I don't remember, but anyhow, so I sing like some Russian type song, because it's aggressive. And it'll keep all the animals away. They'll know I'm in town, man. I'm telling you, when you're surviving, you're going to be eating, munching down on some food. Actually, a lot of people don't know, these ladies slip of fingerberries, they're in the nut family. In fact, most things that you think of fruit and vegetables are in the nut family. Take, for instance, bananas. Nut, strawberries, nut, lettuce. Lettuce is actually in the nut family. Now here's a trick question. What about bread? Bread is actually a fruit. You see, because bread comes from wheat, and wheat is in the fruit family. I'm gonna get me some more. Whew. Now y'all check this out. This right here is from a beaver. See what they do is they chew these things, and man, they go slapping down in the water. Woo! I'll tell you what. If you ever get yourself a pet beaver too, one thing you gotta remember, you gotta let them chew on these trees. A friend of mine had one. I went over to his house, and it was like, his teeth was like this long. I was like, man, you gotta let that thing chew some wood, man. Hey, now y'all check this out. This is crazy right here. What you got is a miniaturized maple forest. You're thinking, what is he talking about? You see all these trees, you're thinking of saplings. These trees are 100 years old. But they're miniaturized. Well, how did that happen, Jabin? You're asking yourself, right? Well, I'll tell you something. This is a story. This is a true story. It happened in 1984. That Soviet space thing that's up in the atmosphere, it was jettisoning all this radioactive material because things were getting out of hand. They were getting in fights on the space shuttle and whatever. So they send this stuff out. Long story short, it mixes with all these rain clouds around the world, comes down on these plants, and just miniaturized everything. Man, these things are 100 years old. The tragic thing was there were some Boy Scout troops in the same area where some of this stuff fell. And they couldn't find them for like 15 days. They're like, where did the boys go, man? And finally they looked on the ground with their food, and there was these apple pies that the boys had, and the Boy Scouts were just on it. They were screaming like, help, 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 help. You know, like little people, like they was that big, man. And the voices were really funny sounding, because they were real small, like, anyways. So they was on there, and they were like, what in the world happened, man? And then they noticed all the trees were tiny also. So that's just the story of the mysterious miniature maple forests that are around the world. So now you know the story. Now y'all look behind me. See that thicket? That's where a lot of deer are gonna be hiding out on, man. So what you wanna do is fashion yourself a bow and arrow so you can get some dinner. And that's what I did right here, man. Took some shoelaces, I took this branch, and man, you hear that? Pow! That's a string tension making all that noise. Find yourself like a straight arrow like this. Man, you be going down there hunting. You can shoot this. This thing go right through an elk, man. This thing will be like, pow! Whoa, pow! I tell you what, man, you can be doing some mighty fine hunt with a little bow and arrow like this. Mighty fine pressure. Just be shooting whatever, left and right, man. Getting some dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever. Well, I kind of changed my mind on that deer hunting thing. You know, I was like, man, I can't eat a whole deer. So I went and I found these chipmunks. So I went ahead and shot a chipmunk. That's some good stuff, man. Whiskey boy! This is Jabin Fee, award-winning host of the Southern Survivorman series. Like you've had fantasies, namely that you had the power to control network television and cancel shows like Glee. And that other fantasy, your whole life you thought, if only I could be Canadian. Whoa, it happened. I just turned into a Canadian with a really tight shirt and some coal miner lamp on my head. It must be a Canada Dry. Refreshing. It's like being in the Great White North. So open up a Canada Dry and see what happens to you. Whiskey boy! You know the forest can be like a labyrinth. You don't want to make it worse. The worst thing you want to do is eat like this. It's a mushroom. Man, you take this thing, you try to eat this, you be like Alice in Wonderland. You be like, ooh, next thing you know,
one pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small.
Ain't the one that mama gives you, don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. Woo!
Alright, I know you vegans ain't gonna like hearing all this kind of stuff because you don't eat eggs, boiled eggs, and chicken fingers or whatever. But I am into the caloric conservation system, CCS. What that means is that when you're in a survival mode situation, you have to conserve your calories. And this system includes facial movements because that's what people never think about. They be talking and whipping their head around like, whoo, yeah, man, all right, what's going on tomorrow, man? But what's going on is that they're spending like 500 calories all day whipping their head around. So what you got to do is keep your eyes, you got to keep your neck straight, and you just move your eyes instead of having the tendency to move your neck. Like, what's going on there, man? So what you do, you hear a noise over there, right? So you just kind of go, all right, just take it easy, turn your eyes over and look over there. You hear a noise to my right, you turn your eyes and look over there, because, oh man, I keep messing up. All right, let's try it again. So then you kind of, it's hard to do, man. It's a very advanced system. So you just turn your head over like, okay, there's nothing over there. It's just a leaf falling on the ground. And then when you get better, like you don't use your mouth either. You just don't even open up your mouth, blah, blah, blah. Just kind of keep your mouth shut as much as possible. Turn your eyes from side to side. See? Don't open up your mouth. I can't do it. Don't open up your mouth. Alright, now you're screwing it up, man. The producers are going to kill you. Alright. Okay. Now, check this out. Right here, you see this mildew on this tree? That means you are on the north side. Because mildew always grows on the north side of the tree. Right? So if you're thinking, man, I could get lost walking in the forest, all you got to keep doing is if you want to head north, when you turn around, whoo, what you gonna see? You're gonna see mildew on that tree, man. And everybody, they're always like walking in circles. Like they find these survivors, they're like, man, you've been walking in circles for like 13 days, right? So what you gotta remember, now look for the mildew, and then force yourself, instead of walking in a circle, try to walk like I do. I try to walk in a square, like this. Because then if you're walking in a square, you're probably actually walking in a straight line. And that may be saving your life right there, man. Boom! I bet y'all didn't even realize that was me with all this camouflage on. Man, that's the only way you're gonna get hidden in the forest. You can sneak up on deer, woo! You can sneak up on bear, woo! And you can just have fun dressing up in your camouflage. Come on.